Hi, my name is Brianna Cornett. I am videotaping part two of the practice portfolio for Generalist Practice 2. So, for the part one, I chose communication. Um, and part of effective communication between client and um, social worker relationships during the engagement process includes defining the different systems in the client's life, um, asking open-ended questions, um, identifying targets and goals, and as well as the client's history. Um, to touch on empathy a little bit, empathy requires being able to um, show kindness and compassion as well as listening to your client and making them feel that they are not alone in what they, and that they have help from you through this process. And then, of course, asking embedded questions. So to set this scenario up, I'm just going to go back and forth between playing client and social worker. So my scenario, probably one of the easiest scenarios I can give, is substance abuse, for example. So if I'm dealing with a client that is there for substance abuse issues and counseling, I might, during the engagement process, I might say, just to kind of get a feel for different history perspectives from the client, I might ask embedded questions like, what are you looking to get out of our time together? So from that point, the client would say, well, I'm experiencing substance abuse issues with alcohol and opiates. So I'm wanting to start the recovery process for my substance addiction, and also, try to work through some of my problems that could have led to the substance abuse. A lot of times that's trauma or events that happened in the person's life at any point in development that they have been trying to escape from, and that's been their escape instead of receiving mental help sooner. So another question I might ask is, what brings you here? So of course, for my client, my situation, it would be the substance abuse. But a lot of times with substance abuse victims, you find that underneath the actual addiction is a lot of scenarios, like trauma scenarios and stuff, like I was saying before. So to identify the targets based upon just getting the idea for what the client is wanting out of our time together, I might ask, what are things you want to focus on? So the client's response to that could be, well, I'd like to focus on first getting clean, because that's most important. So recovery as far as detox, and the 12 steps of AA would come in handy here. And then later on in our process, we might get into the underlying causes of the substance abuse. So if the client is reluctant to answer to my embedded questions, I might ask closed-ended questions. Like, for example, I might ask, is your, do you have a good relationship with your parents, your siblings? Just to kind of get a feel for how their history goes, like how there's, are we looking to build a support system, or did they already come in here with the support of, peers around them? Is their environment stable enough for them to endure recovery, or do we need to veer away from the people that they are associating with in order to maintain this recovery process? So and adding on to that, a lot of this has to do with being empathetic and listening, and just trying to use different strategies such as open-ended questions, closed-ended questions, telling the client, like, this is a safe space. I want, what to be shared here to be, I want you to feel like you can share. But at the same time, it's important to build boundaries. So I might say, if you say something like something you're, that you're still enduring in drugs and bad habits, if you're court mandated here to be in counseling services, and I might say, I've got to report that. Or if you end up admitting to a criminal action, I have to say that I would have to report that to authorities, because boundaries have to be set. Empathy can only go so far before boundaries step in. So I think communication is a very, very strong communication makes for a better, on both the social worker and the client's behalf. The more both of them communicate, the stronger the relationship will be, and the better the outcomes will be. Thank you.